All right, cool. Well, first of all, my name Stanley. I'm a 32-year-old black male from Philadelphia. I'm just basic average person. I mean, it's not too much to me. That's about it. Got
Okay.
kids, two sons, and yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Okay. What's it like? What's it like being a father, man? I really want to really, because there's a lot of fathers out there nowadays, and I really want to know, like, what's it like being a father? Like, I'm pretty sure you can give a good explanation for it, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I've always wanted to ask a father that too. Like, what is it like raising kids? Because it's an
man,
experience.
it's a great experience. It's rewarding. It's scary. It's entertaining, informative. I mean, you learn so much things from your children that you never thought you would learn. And like it's just like crazy to see like the stages they go through, the stages you go through as a parent, what you learn about yourself. Like is I actually enjoy it. It's one of the best experiences I had in my life.
Okay, awesome. I love that, man. I love that. I love that. So if you could give a positive message to your kids or anybody out there that's like the younger generation, what would you like to tell them?
Oh man, a positive message for the kids. See, there's so much swirling around my mind because there's so many positive messages that need to be said,
Oh,
and it
nah,
really
say them,
need to
brother.
be.
Say them. Let them out. Let them be free.
I mean, well, that's actually a key word right there. Is just kind of be free, be yourself. Don't allow society to tell you who to be or to tell yourself to anybody else. I mean, that's one of the most positive messages that I can ever, think of that people need to hear.
Yeah.
I think people stress themselves out trying to conform to society.
And trying to impress people that don't that especially like let's be honest, family, family's even hard because it's like you want your family to support you, you want your family to be there for you during these things that you're growing and
Yeah,
creating, and all
yeah,
they do is throw dirt on your name, and then when you
yeah,
actually do it, then they actually want to be there and support, and
yeah,
and and that's another, like you said, don't let the society, and society could even be your family, you know
yeah, yeah.
and
I mean, true that they are part of society also, and a lot of people need to understand that everybody's experience within this lifetime is unique to themselves. So you can't always listen to somebody else's information and advice. Everything we go through is tailored to us.
Yeah. And then and I like that, bro, because we live in this world where everybody thinks they know it all. But have you actually done it?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah,
have you actually experienced and done it and put the work in to like do that type of thing that
yeah,
person is doing?
yeah,
Because it's one thing to work like this and it's another thing to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I like that. I like that message, bro. Like I would love a lot of youth to like understand that, to keep being yourself and don't let
yeah.
this negativity to derive you from what you want to do in life. I like
Right,
that, man.
right.
I
That's
really
that's
do.
the main thing. Negativity and positive. You want to stay of positive energy, and it'll always return. It'll always come around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what are some things that you're passionate about? Because I know we all have some passions and some things that we want to have or
Mm.
achieve in life. So what are some passions of yours in life?
Main thing that I'm passionate about, because I go through a bunch of different phases, but one thing that gets to me is freedom. And when I say that word, I mean like people seem to be like really trapped inside of themselves as far as like everything that's coming from the media, everything that's coming from social standards, and everything that's coming from um, the government, and like people need to find some type of freedom where they feel like they can live without a weight on their shoulders. And and one thing is, it's a lot of different avenues that tailor to that, but it's like, how can I say, one thing is it's kind of like just the way that you live your life, kind of like, it's hard for me to really explain just on a whim without, being able to come up with a whole concept and, thought behind it. But that's the big thing, just being free and being able to live life without worry. you know?
Mhm. Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. Cause I like that. Like, cause at the end of the day, we got a lot of stuff that distract us, but as you said, that freedom. When you have that mindset of like freedom,
Yeah.
you open your
A lot of
world.
people, a lot of people not free, a lot of people living around and they trapped inside themselves, mentally, and they trapped, just through all avenues, financially they trapped, and it's like we just got to try to find some type of freedom for ourselves where we live in without this weight and this stress every single day, because
Balance.
stress is really the number one killer of people right now.
Uh-huh. Balance. All about that balance. Having that good
Yeah,
and that's another thing. Like things like these are a good stress reliever because you're having conversations with people and it's soothing. It may
yeah,
be after work, but you're taking the time out to have these soothing conversations and talk to people and get to know them, and then you feel good at the end of the day when you share their story because that's another positive message, another positive person that really shared their thoughts with other people in the world to be inspired and to relieve the
yeah. I can
stress that they
totally
got going
understand that.
on you know
Yeah, I can understand that.
and so
Yeah,
it's like, and we have to look at those small things. When we look at those small things, we appreciate like more. So I like that, man. I really like that emphasis on freedom. It's
yeah,
all about freedom, bro.
yeah.
It's really all about freedom.
And that speaks to a lot of avenues, where people feel trapped inside their neighborhoods, inside their homes, and things like that. You just want to be able to walk outside your door and just feel like today is a good day. That's freedom right there.
Yes, sir. So on to that, what are some struggles that you faced in life growing up or just, you know, in the
Mm.
past or
One thing that I can say is it's a lot of different struggles, but one thing that it all boils down to is kind of like misinformation. Like being a youth coming from the inner city, a lot of things that we miss out on is the information that we need early on. People tell you the same old cliche things as far as like, get a job, go to college, save money and things like that. But it's a lot of other information and a lot of other avenues to being successful. It's a lot of, different ways to find happiness. It's not just tailored to finding a great job or making great money. While that's all good and you should want that. But some of the things is kind of like you got to be able to do that, within your realm. Sometimes things are too stressful for people, no matter how much money they're making, and these are things that you miss out on early because I think, like I said, this is like for me in my inner city experience. I think like sometimes our parents, you know, were too trapped in with whatever was going on in their lives to give it's a trickle down effect, and I think that information just didn't trickle down the way it should have,
Mhm.
through generations.
Yeah, I feel that because it's like all the old all the people that are like elderly, they're looking at us and they're like, well, what y'all are doing are weird and it doesn't work. But
Yeah,
it's been proven over and over again. I mean, like let's keep it real here, bro. Like if we look at all these people that are in their 30s right now that have been successful online, just like the online business, that people didn't think the online business was gonna boom like it did. Everybody
right,
was so self-doubting and all this stuff. But now it's getting to the point where all the social media platforms are starting to pay people. And the old folks are just sitting there like, oh, this ain't real, this ain't real. But they're being proven over and time again that this is real. This is as real as it
right,
gets. This is the new day and age we live in, and they can't fathom their mind around it. It's kind of like hatred, and like you said, they're trapped in themselves, and they don't
yeah,
realize that the world is continually changing, and things are not going
hmm,
to be the same. And just because a person is in a certain spot now doesn't mean like that they're going to stay like that forever. So
right,
like you said, bro, I like the way you put that in that perspective of how people are in this world right now. So that's beautiful, bro. That is
yeah.
truly, truly, truly beautiful, bro. And I like that.
Thank you, I
So
appreciate it.
of course, man, no problem. So on to your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the world today? Like,
Mm. Haze. Everything now is kind of like in a haze. There's so many how can I say, distractions. Everything that people focus on right now, to me, is a distraction from the bigger picture. What's most important in life? You know, the basis of life, I just got finished explaining to somebody, is survival. You understand? And everything that, you know, people are caught up in, whether it be in TV shows or music or internet and social media or anything like that, you know, it takes you away from learning more about how to survive, learning more about being spiritual, learning more about, you know, just having knowledge itself. You know, so I think everything is just kind of like in a haze and it's just being thrown out there at such a rapid pace where it's kind of like nobody can really grasp anything. You know, nobody knows what to follow, nobody knows what to believe in, nobody, and it's just, you know, everything seems like a rabbit hole, you know, so it's kind of like I try to focus on day to day, just clearing the haze and just being able to focus on the bigger picture, you
I
know?
love that. I love that, bro. I really, really do love that, man. I do. So if you could do one, I'd say if you could do one big positive thing in the world to make a difference in people's lives, what would you do? And it could be like anything,
Mm.
even a
See, I'm a
purposeful
little bit
cause.
radical. I'm a little bit radical. I'm gonna give you two different perspectives of what I think will make people's lives better. One
Hmm.
is a bit radical and off, but that's just me. But one is kind of more, you know, acceptable. But one, I think you got like, you can boil people down to two different type of people. You know, either good people or bad people, or you want to say peaceful people, or you know, outlandish or whatever you want to say. To me, I'm not so far as a separation of, you know, colors or race or anything like that. I'm more of a separation of good and bad. You know, if you want to be on a certain side of the line, go over there. Let's get them an island or something, you know, where they can, you know, tear shit up, you know. Uh, you know, and just let the people who want to live and prosper, you let them do that because it's too much negative influence around. And sometimes it takes good people and it turns them a little bit because when you hear the thing that where you got to adapt to your surroundings or you got to, you know, kind of, you know, do these type of things to survive, you might have somebody who's 100% pure gold, just, you know, a person that's, you know, worth whatever. And because they got to adapt to what's around them, negativity and things like that, it kind of changes them, it skewers their view on life and things like that.
Hmm.
So I think in a, you know, a large sense, if you would kind of get rid of the negative energy and just let it boil itself out in one place, the rest of us would be great. But on a more doable, on a more acceptable side, knowledge. I mean, it's nothing more powerful in this world than knowledge, man. And I would just hope that everybody would just be willing to open their minds up as far as like information that they receive because we get a lot of information, especially now in the internet days, where it's like, and I think that too many people cut off information and too many people believe too heavily in information. And you got to find a balance where you're open to it and you explore it and you kind of get a grasp of it because I mean, everybody is just running around and it's causing to create a great separation or division amongst people because they running around off all of this misinformation. So I think just knowledge is kind of the key. Yeah, I mean, not to be cliche, but
Nah,
you know, that's
that's
what it is.
real. That is real. Bro, it's real as it gets. Nah, that's as real as it gets, bro. It's as real as it gets. Plain point blank. Period, bro. Period. It ain't nothing but straight facts, bro. Like I like that. Like all in all, like knowledge. We all need knowledge. Cause
Yeah,
like you giving up the knowledge you're giving off is something that can feed into somebody else's mind, and then they feed that same knowledge you just give them to somebody else, and then they feed that knowledge you just gave them that from that person to that person, and everybody's just gaining that knowledge. So it's powerful, expressed from one person to the next, and that's powerful, bro.
yeah. I mean, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. Each one teach one. You know, that's how you get it moving around.
Yes, sir. Thank God for these. And the last question, bro, is what kind of plans do you have for the next couple of years? What kind of
The
plans
next
you
how
got?
many years?
Couple of years. We'll say 3 to 5. What kind of things you want to do in the next couple of years?
Ownership, man. I've been on this real ownership kick. I think that I'm kind of, excuse me, I'm kind of behind the ball being in my 30s. Excuse me, and this might even be kind of conforming in society and when you're supposed to, do things. But I think that, like, because I spent much of my 20s in the same haze that people were in, just kind of not worried about much and living life day to day. That, like, now that I was like, I got a clear picture of what I want to do. Everything is about ownership, home ownership, even as far as car ownership. A lot of people getting car leases and things like that, and that's the wrong way to get a car. You want to outright own things. That's the best way to do it. That's how you get the most money back off your investment. So kind of like everything is ownership, business ownership, you know, ownership of myself being who I am totally 100%, you know, that's just what it is, ownership. Those are my plans. Hopefully I can, well, not hopefully, I will conquer those things in the next few years.
You will, brother. And I thank you for all the beautiful knowledge, the spirit, the great positive message that you had to share with me and with everybody else that's gonna see this, bro. I'm like blessed to know that we have people like you in this world who want to share that gift of knowledge with this people in the world, with the people in the world, because we need it. We need it.
Right,
We need it.
right.
And if we
I
can
appreciate you also for doing this interview for me too, because like sometimes people just need an outlet to get information out there, and it's kind of hard, with everybody focused on this and this and that. So like
yeah.
sometimes when people need a clear message, they just kind of need a good source for it to come from,
And we don't
So I
have a
appreciate
lot of we don't have a lot of them at all.
no,
CNN,
no,
CNN, New York Times, all these companies,
yeah,
they focus on certain aspects.
propaganda and things like that is really ridiculous what they try to get people to believe and what they try to get them to focus on. I think to have more pure kind of media outlets is kind of good for people to kind of, be able to rely on and believe in,
Yeah,
so I'm glad you was able to do this.
yeah, brother. I want to get as many people as I can on board so we can at least knock a little bit of them out, knock their faces off a little bit and be like, oh, we should have been doing this a long time ago. Yeah, you think?
Yeah, yeah,
Bro. So it's just like I really want to spread that positive message, and I think this will not only not it'll shine. It may not shine a light on the whole world because people are still gonna have that negative mindset, but I bet you over 1 million hearts can be touched by all the beautiful things we have to say in these interviews, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, you never know. You get one mind, you get that one great mind, and you may be able to do a lot of things with a lot of people. So
Yeah, bro, and that's
that's
powerful.
the whole. That's the only reason why I'm willing to actually kind of like speak publicly is because I realize that the state that we in, as a people, it's just I don't think it's where we're supposed to be.
We
You
fallen.
know.
237 mass shootings in America.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's ridiculous. I mean,
Yikes. We're only in half of the year. Yikes.
yeah.
That is
So,
ridiculous, brother. So thank you so
you know,
much, brother. Thank you. We will
all right,
definitely be
man.
keeping in touch, man. For sure.
All right, well,
All right, brother. Have a good one, brother.
all right.
All right. Peace, bro.